I was in a downward spiral for almost a year without even realizing it, but now I'm making a comeback. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly how I'm making a comeback, how I'm going to get my mental performance back to its peak, how I'm going to get my physical performance back to its peak, and how I'm going to keep it there and use that as a foundation to keep growing stronger both physically and mentally. So the first thing is basically I had the order of operations wrong, I think. So many years ago when I did a lot of brain training, I did multiple years of brain training, and it was very effective. I gained at least 13 IQ points. But when I was doing that, I think my order of focus was a little bit wrong. So at that time, my number one focus was on the brain training. That was absolutely my number one focus. And then my secondary focuses were on physical training and then making money. And you can kind of think of it like a pyramid. So at the top of my pyramid was the brain training. And then secondary, underneath that, was physical training and then making money. And it was very effective because I did increase my intelligence by 13 IQ points. But I didn't really make much progress on my other goals. On my physical performance goals, I didn't really make much progress. And at the time, this is many years ago, I didn't really make much progress financially either. I kind of just flatlined in both of those areas. So recently, about a year ago, I made a flip and I made making money the number one priority. And I made basically everything else a secondary priority. And that was not correct either. That also didn't work out because by making money the number one focus and neglecting the other areas, neglecting my mental performance, neglecting my physical performance, my sleep, and the things that allowed me to stay at my peak, by neglecting those, it basically made it less likely that I could make money rather than more likely. So yes, I was putting more time into making money, but I was far less effective. So I was wrong there as well. And now I think I've got the accurate way to prioritize things, to really become as effective as I can, to really make a comeback. And that is by putting sleep at the top of my pyramid, basically. So sleep is now my number one focus. So the reason why sleep is my number one focus is because that is the cornerstone of staying in an upward spiral. So if you get good sleep, you will be sharper mentally. You'll be more able to do physical training. You'll be more relaxed, less stressed. So you'll make better choices in business and in trading. Basically, it makes everything else in life a lot easier. So it's clear to me now that sleep needs to be the number one priority in basically the pyramid of my order of priorities. Number one is sleep now. Now, underneath sleep is now physical training and brain training. So the reason why those two are secondary goals underneath sleep is because basically sleep allows me to do more physical training and more brain training. The more effective my sleep is, the more effective my brain training will be, and the more effective my cardio and physical training will be. And the more effective those forms of training are, then the more effective my sleep will become, and it will become a positive feedback loop there as well. And by creating that positive feedback loop where the sleep, the optimized sleep allows for optimized recovery of the physical and mental training, because of that, then I can get optimized training. And then because of that, I can increase my overall stress resilience. I can increase my overall capacity for physical and mental output. And then underneath that, I can use that into basically performance, into making money, into trading, into business, even into this YouTube channel, things like that, into my secondary goals, basically. So really, to summarize how I'm making a comeback is sleep is now my number one priority. My secondary goals are the brain training and the cardio training. So I'm going to go into how I'm optimizing that and my overall plan for that now. So make sure you keep watching the video until the end to really get all the information here. So with the cardio training, so the reason why I'm working on that is because I need to get my resting heart rate lower. So my resting heart rate is around about 60 right now, which is fairly average, but I needed to get to basically a pro athlete level of cardiovascular fitness. And the reason why I need to get there is because I want to have perfect sleep. I want to have highly optimized sleep. I want to be functioning at an extremely high level, both mentally and physically. And in order to do that, I basically have to become a professional athlete in terms of at least my cardiovascular fitness. So my goal is actually to get my resting heart rate from 60 to 40, which is a very huge goal. It might take me multiple years. I have experimented with cardio training previously, so many years ago, in combination with the brain training, when brain training was my number one focus. And physical training, cardio training, was my secondary focus. At that time, I did experiment with about a year of cardio training, and I did get my resting heart rate from about 60 to 55. But that training was not very effective because I wasn't optimized in other areas. My sleep wasn't optimized, my diet wasn't optimized. My overall daily stress was very low, which did help a lot. But I wasn't optimized in those other areas, so that the cardio training I was doing wasn't very effective. So now that I'm making a comeback, I'm basically aiming to be optimized in every single area. It starts with being optimized in my sleep, and I'm going to make a separate video on how I'm optimizing my sleep. So if you want to find out about that, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because that will be one of my next videos coming up. But yeah, it starts with optimizing my sleep, and then once I've achieved that, then I can optimize my brain training and I can optimize my physical training, so I can become far fitter than I've ever been before, and I can reach new levels in the brain training and increase my IQ far beyond what I have achieved already in increasing my intelligence. I can increase it even further. Now I'm quite confident that I can get to quad 9 back, even quad 10 back. I think is quite possible. So I'm looking forward to that. That would possibly be still 6 to 12 months from now. That's kind of the time frame I'm looking at, because to get my resting heart rate significantly lower, even with optimized training, it's going to take at least like 6 to 12 months, at least to get to like a 40 resting heart rate. It might take me multiple years, but we'll see how it goes. But basically, I want to get there as fast as possible. So that's how I'm making a comeback. So I'm going to optimize my sleep. Then I'm going to optimize my physical training and my brain training. And then after both of those are optimized, then I'm going to use basically my increased capacity for mental and physical endurance to go out and crush it at making money. So making money is back to a secondary goal now. So it was for a short time my number one goal, but I think making it a number one goal kind of pushed these other areas out of whack, and it made it actually harder to make money. Really, it pushed me into a little bit of a downward spiral. But now basically I'm making sure I stay in an upward spiral, and not only that, I'm kind of speeding up my spiral as fast as I possibly can. So I basically want to be a roaring tornado of an upward spiral, so that nothing can knock me back into a downward spiral ever again. So basically, I want to speed up the upward spiral faster and faster, speed up the positive feedback loop as fast as possible. The synergistic benefits between all these things, how sleep makes it more effective for your training, both physically and mentally, and how that also optimizes your sleep. The more effective you can train, the more effective you can sleep. So it's a positive feedback loop there. And the faster I can speed that up and the stronger I can make that, then the stronger I can make myself in basically every area of life. So that's how I'm making a comeback. That's how I'm going to get back to my peak, both physically and mentally. And that's how I'm going to finally break through my plateaus from the brain training, finally reach new heights in the brain training. And yeah, that's about it, guys. If you're interested in this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out my next videos. Cheers, guys.